Good morning. So today I promised you a video about work. I'm not going to do the video that I planned to do today. I am going to do something that I think is more urgent. So I work generally with professional women who are highly capable and high performers. But they quite often have habits and patterns of behaviour that mean that they are not yielding as much as they could be from their efforts. And so they come to me to help them find their focus, to stop doing the stuff, to stop expending energy on stuff that isn't actually going to generate the results that they want. That's what I call leadership. So it doesn't really matter if they've got the job they want yet or not. I believe everyone is a leader. What makes a leader is the fact that people are looking at you for leadership and deciding to follow you. You might never even know they're doing it. So, I could have people following my leadership right now and I wouldn't even know. So everything I say is for anyone who wants to make a positive impact in the world and make a difference. And that doesn't mean necessarily something philanthropic or something completely outside of themselves. It just means that you want to put your time and effort into things that you can see make a difference. So in other words, progress. Now I've been communicating via email mainly and WhatsApp with many of my clients, and all of my corporate clients, that is people in corporate jobs who are paying me to be their coach, bar one, have described this exact issue to me in the last week. And I know that the other person that hasn't described the issue will be falling into this same pattern. Now, as a precursor to what I'm about to say, when we feel under pressure, we will revert back to the things that we always do. So, the worst characteristics and behaviours that you have will be really near the surface, if not out in the open right now. I'm going to do a video this week about relationships and boundaries, because I think this is the other thing that's coming up. But today I want to talk about professionally your workload. So all of my clients that have communicated with me in the last week have been talking about the pressure they feel under to deliver what they had before and more at this time. And I went into a company a couple of weeks ago. It was probably the last corporate piece of work that I did. I facilitated a conversation around them all feeling like they work incredibly hard, but they're not really making that much of a difference, which is basically what I've just described, right? And I said to them, it's a bit like the film that we think is called Up with George Clooney, where he is this, high-flying, very important person, and he has this analogy of a backpack. He does this public speaking thing where he's a backpack. And effectively, what he's saying is he's taken everything out of his life and only put in what will fit in that backpack. And this is what I said to that corporate group couple of weeks ago. I said, you've got all of this stuff on your plate. You're taking more priorities on and more projects on. Nothing is coming off. So one of the key things I used to teach my team to ask me when I was a leader was every time I asked them to do something, I trained them to say, yep, happy to. What am I going to drop? Because you can't keep piling stuff on. Now, coming in. All of this stuff that is piling on is already on top of very frayed patience, resilience, moods. Everyone is sensitive at the moment. So to take more on is just nonsensical. All it's going to do is help you to snap. It's going to help you to not function, and it's going to help you to make no difference. So if what you're here to do is to make a difference, you have got to look at your work remit right now, take it all away, and then go, right, what is the one most critical thing I need to bring back? Now, bear in mind that the world that we're in right now is changing daily. It's extremely volatile. So, that one thing might be, I can make a difference in the world right now, and the thing that I have to do right now is in direct response to COVID-19. Fine. If you are in technology or healthcare, or these are the two sectors I used to work in, healthcare or technology. If I was still in a job right now, I would be coming up with a solution that was fast, quick and dirty to take some of the pressure off the system we're currently living in. You may not work in a sector like that. It's fine. So what you might be doing, your one thing might be, okay, if I keep my eye on this longer term or medium term, strategic goal, and only that, then when this is all over, I will have made a massive difference on the business. So it doesn't really matter whether you're talking near term, longer term, but you've got to just take everything off your plate and then select what's going to come back in. You know, when you've got, I can't think of an analogy, but when you've got everything that you've got in your life right here, it's going to be harder on you to make a choice from what you've got. Whereas if you get rid of all of it and you have to physically go and bring something back in, that is going to be a lot easier. Plus, it is a different part of your brain making a decision. It is a part of your brain that's looking for the thing that is going to make the most impact. Versus when you look at your entire plate right now and you're feeling like you're making more of a compromised decision, you're looking at all the stuff you've got to leave, not the one thing that you're going to take. So get rid of everything that is on your plate right now. We are not living in the same world that we were living in before. Even if your goal is long term, what the world looks like long term may be different because of what's happening right now. So you've got to look at this with fresh perspective, and you cannot get that perspective if you are loading pressure from work onto an already frail mental system, frankly. You know, everyone is weaker right now because it's uncertain. We probably weren't looking after ourselves enough anyway, and we were stressed anyway, and then we've just added more on top. You know, the reality for some people is that they are in a high risk category. I have a client in a high risk category, and yet at the moment she is not worrying as much about her well-being as she is about delivering the ridiculous amount of work, frankly, that she had anyway. Now is the time to go sod the work, quite frankly. You know, if she was dead, sorry to get morbid for a minute, but if she was dead in the next 12 weeks, someone would have to do the work, right? If you were off sick with coronavirus for the next 2 weeks, someone would have to do the work. You know, this is the time that we're in. If these people had 4 primary school aged children, how would they work? They couldn't possibly work. They would have to prioritise their children. So, you know, whether you've got children or not, put yourself in the position of the person under the most pressure right now and pick the one thing that's going to make an impact. You know, the one thing that's making an impact for me at the moment is focusing on a book pitch. Now, honestly, my heart is not in that book pitch right now. It's the pitch for my second book. There's a strict deadline. My heart is not in it. I'm not feeling motivated. I feel like I'm pushing against this resistance, but I know it's just because I've got other things on my mind right now and I can't focus on it. So, you know, the question is, do I compartmentalize and focus purely on that thing, or do I just let it go? Maybe this is not the right time to be doing that work. Take the pressure right off and do what I feel like doing. Because what I learned in my first book journey is whenever you feel like you're pushing, that is the time you need to just stop. If I stop for 2 hours and do something fun, something light, something self-compassionate, it is going to make sure I am so much more productive if and when I do go ahead with that book pitch. So this is not a time to do what you normally do. Take everything off your plate and pick the one thing that you're going to put back on. If I have not made that message clear today, then quite frankly, I should stop doing these videos. But really, don't keep doing what you've always done. The world has changed. We are living in a different place and you have to take a different approach. And this is what I call leadership. Be the leader that you want to see. You want someone to come up to you and go, I tell you what, take everything off your plate and just do one thing. Well, I just told you to do that. So go ahead and do that, and you will make a bigger impact than you would do if you try and push through and keep going with everything on your plate. I hope that was helpful.